today, the prosecution is representing 117 state parties of the Rome Statute, including the government of Kenya, who in a sovereign decision signed the treaty, but in particular, the Rift Valley victims of crimes against humanity. And it is in their name that the prosecution requests that the pretrial chamber confirm the charges against William Ruto, Henry Kosgey, and Joshua Sang, and commit them for trial. The prosecution submits that the evidence present established substantial grounds to believe that Mr. Ruto, Mr. Kosgey, and Mr. Sang are individually responsible for a widespread and systematic, both unsystematic attack against civilians in Kenya Rift Valley province. The crimes charged affected thousands of Kenyan citizens. These massive crimes are, as the defense say, a Kenyan problem. But they are not just a Kenyan problem. These are some of the most serious crimes of concern to the international community as a whole. And for that reason, the International Criminal Court intervened. As the result of the crimes committed by Mr. Ruto, Mr. Kosgey, and Mr. Sang, violence was unleashed in Rift Valley. At least 700 persons died, and approximately 400,000 persons were displaced between the end of December 2007 and January 2008. The prosecution evidence shows that the violence in the Rift Valley was the result of the planned crimes. Crimes were not spontaneous. Perpetrators were not opportunistic. They were following the suspect's plans. The evidence will show that the crimes were carefully planned and organized by William Ruto and Henry Kosgey with the goal to gain political power. On 27 December 2007, Kenyan voters went to the polls to exercise their democratic right and elect a president. On 30 December 2007, the incumbent president and leader of the ruling PNU, Mwai Kibaki, was announced as the winner of the election by a small margin over his opponent from the ODM. The election result announcement triggered Mr. Ruto and Mr. Kosgey network to act in accordance with the plan. The evidence that the prosecutor will present will show a consistent pattern in the implementation of the attacks. One, perpetrators gathered at designated meeting points outside of the location selected for attack. Second, they were under the supervision of those subordinated, especially chosen commanders. Third, they established roadblocks at all major roads around the targeted locations. Four, they proceeded to loot and burn down houses and business that had been previously identified as belonging to PNU supporters. As a consequence, they were systematically displacing hundreds of thousands of persons away from their homes. Thousands of PNU supporters fled to nearby police stations and churches for refuge. Perpetrators killed or maimed people as they attempted to flee. In the roadblocks, people from the groups perceived to support PNU were attacked, and in many instances, killed on the spot.
From on or about the 30th of December of 2007, network perpetrators committed no fewer than these 8 attacks in different locations, targeting PNU supporters. These direct perpetrators implemented the network's policy of attacking these supporters to permanently expel them from the Rift Valley. They systematically inflicted fear, killing, looted, burned, or otherwise destroyed their property. Viewed collectively, the prosecution's evidence will show that William Ruto, Henry Kosgey, and Joshua Sang are individually responsible for these attacks. Their responsibility is rooted in their common plan, their network, and their policy to expel these PNU supporters.